So you've just clicked on our video and you see a couple of older individuals and you might be wondering, what do they know about packing for a trip abroad?
Well, we're full-time world travelers who've carried our backpacks to over 100 countries. Along the way, we've made every mistake in the book. We've purchased items we didn't need and watched packing videos from people who haven't even taken their first trip.
Now, since those early years, we've solved problems, adjusted our ideas, and refined our methods.
Today, we're going to share with you our 10 rules for packing and explain why they're so important. Our goal is to be well-traveled, not to become a well-traveled pack mule. Okay, we hope that these tips will encourage you to think differently about travel and recognize the impact that a well-packed bag can have on your journey. So let's go.
We're John and Bev, and we are the Retirement Travelers.
If you're wondering where we are as we travel the world, we keep our location updated on Instagram. Be sure to join our retirement travel community on Facebook, where people are coming together to talk all things travel.
First up, only your feet touch the ground. We love roller bags if you cannot carry, but for us, we are moving each week and we know that when we hop off of a train, we will surely encounter broken escalators in a subway station and cobblestone streets when walking through villages. In these situations, carrying a backpack is much easier than dragging a suitcase. Most places in the world do not have even smooth sidewalks.
Our travel style includes taking advantage of public transportation every chance we get. We save a lot of money by embracing subways and buses around the world, and carrying a backpack is a great way to be nimble and quick.
If a backpack is fitted properly, it is much more comfortable than many people imagine. The weight is carried on your hips, and there should be very little, if any, weight on your shoulders. You will want to buy one with a clamshell design for easy access. We've carried hiking packs where you access everything from the top, and we hated it. Our preferred brand is Osprey, but we see lots of brands as we travel.
Next is one and done. Now, until this year, we've always carried a two-piece pack. We had a large pack for our clothes and a small pack for our computer and electronics. Now, this year, we decided to go with a larger single pack, not so we could pack more, but so that everything would fit into one pack. We are leaving our hands free for cameras, phones, tickets, passport handling, and handrails on stairs.
Last year, we carried the Osprey Fairview and Farpoint 55 travel backpacks, which was basically two backpacks that added up to 55 liters. One was about 40 liters, and the smaller detachable companion pack was 15 liters. We found that we usually carried our smaller pack in our hands and our big pack on our backs. We tried carrying it all attached, but because our tech gear is pretty heavy, it sagged, so we took it off and carried it in our hands.
This year, we're carrying the Osprey Sojourn Porter Travel Backpack in 65 liter. Since we sometimes need a day pack, we combine this with the Coat Epoxy Batak 24. This is an unstructured day pack that can be folded up and stored in our 65. When we board a plane and want to carry our electronics with us, we pull it out and load it up. When we retrieve our packs at baggage claim, we can shift our items to our backpack and carry one pack. While we're hiking, we use it as a day pack.
Just because we have a larger pack doesn't mean we pack more. We realize the temptation is there, but our goal is to simply have all our items in one bag, not increase our weight. With that said, we are finding that we love the extra room and we don't have to struggle to zip it up.
The other thing we love about this new pack is that it has some really big pockets on the inside, which eliminates a couple of small packing cubes. We can keep our underwear and socks in those pockets, and it makes our pack more organized. Of all the packs we've ever carried, the Sojourn Porter has the best features. They don't have a women's version, so I carry the men's.
It also has a large padded slot on the back side where we keep our computers. Carrying these heavy items closest to our back is the correct way to carry computers. The front has a large area for a sweater and a top pouch for phones and such. There's also a zippered compartment at the bottom for dirty clothes or shoes, which is really nice to have.
Next up is pound for pound. We cannot stress how important it is to pack light. We consider each item in our pack and look at each thing to see if we can reduce our load by switching to a product that weighs less. When we started traveling, we included a lot of items for the what ifs. What ifs don't belong in a bag. I might need this if, or it would be really nice to have.
That's right. I recently read a book by an iconic entrepreneur, and he said that when he buys a company, his initial plan is to cut waste. He might cut too much, which means he must bring certain aspects back, but it's then that he knows that he's at the right level. Cut and add, which is also a great philosophy for packing a bag. So let's say that you think you need 7 pairs of shorts, okay? But could you get by with 3? As you travel, you realize that you really need 4. We think it's much better to add 1 than have carried 7 the entire trip.
Our goal this year is to feel like we needed to pack more, but something tells me that won't be the case. We're going with less and we'll add if needed. We have a link below to our updated packing list, so check that out.
There's nothing worse than feeling like you're lugging around stuff you don't need or rarely use. This is one reason people succumb to roller bags. They trick themselves into thinking that they can bring more and it will be okay. This doesn't work when they approach a broken escalator or they must twist around, grab a heavy suitcase, and lug it upstairs of a train. I pick up a lot of these to help people, and I can only imagine what possessed them to pack 50 pounds of stuff for a short holiday.
So consider each item, pack less than you need, and make it work. You'll find your trip is so pleasant when you're light on your feet. Travel isn't about looking great, it's about living a great life of exploration. Break free of your stuff and roam.
The next rule is called Checkmate, and the question many of you will ask is, can you carry on the Sojourn Porter 65? Now, this is an important question, and for the most part, we can carry it on because it cinches down and is very flexible, especially when we take our electronics out and carry those as our personal item. But consider that some airlines might not allow it due to size or weight restrictions.
For the first few years of our travel, we advocated for carry-on only. We like this, but there's one problem we kept facing, so we have revisited this idea and have changed our minds. Now we are checking our bags at most every foreign airport. TSA isn't our problem, it's other places.
Frankly, we are tired of having our items confiscated when we go through security. We've lost so many items because they were not banned, but because we had bad luck with security agents that we don't really think are on the up and up. You know, they've taken items that clearly were allowed, but once you encounter these agents, there's really no winning. You know, they are the boss. We hate the hassle of replacing the carefully curated items that we've packed.
So far, we've not lost anything in our checked bags, and knock on wood for that. We pack Apple AirTags, and we can see our bags traveling with us. On the most recent Apple update, if you have a lost bag with an airline, Apple has made it possible to share your map with the airline so that they can more easily track your luggage. We think this is genius.
The other feature of this bag is the TSID luggage registration tag, which can be scanned by airports or luggage handlers all over the world. If your bag is lost, they can scan it and report it as found. We registered our bags much like you do with a pet microchip. We don't know anyone who's had a bag returned successfully, but we like knowing it's sewn into the pack and can't be easily removed.
The next one is called Don't Swim in the Deep End. Now this, of course, is a play on words, but what we mean is organize your bag with packing cubes. Now some people, and they're often inexperienced travelers, advocate for rolling or stacking your items, but unfortunately, they end up just swimming around in your bag.
We recently read a quote that said, "Chaos is found in greatest abundance wherever order is sought." It always defeats order because it's better organized. Of course, after traveling all day, the last thing you want is to open your pack and have a mess to defeat. So packing cubes help with this. Having a sense of calm in the middle of the storm is the ideal.
Now, we use tripped packing cubes, but we know that there are many brands out there that are great. For us, we look for ones that are lightweight and durable. The Trip brand is a compression cube, meaning that you can zip out the air and pack it tighter, but we never use this. For us, we don't overpack, so cinching everything as tight as possible isn't necessary. Plus, when we close our pack, we cinch from the outside.
The next rule is the old adage, dress for success. Another kick we get is watching videos that tell you how to dress like a local. This is crazy talk, and frankly, it's insulting to the average person. We're not fooling anyone by pretending to be a local and not a tourist. We understand the desire to dress nice for dinner or the theater, but walking around museums and visiting historic sites should be about comfort and function.
This does not mean that you should be a slouch and not consider local norms like conservative dress. Just because jeans are fashionable in South America, it doesn't mean you have to pack jeans. Dress for comfort and enjoy the journey. No one cares what you wear unless you're being vulgar and inappropriate. But overall, these days, most of the world dresses like we do in the US, including leggings, and most items are fine.
Another aspect of clothing is to layer everything. We don't carry thick sweaters or thick coats. We carry layers. We have thermal layers, medium layers, and rain layers. Utilize the insulation mindset and you'll be flexible and warm. Most outdoor brands carry lines that can be layered, and that is the correct way to pack for long-term travel.
The other item to note is to buy the highest quality you can find. We might pay $400 for a raincoat, but it should last for many, many years. Don't buy items on sale to save a few bucks. Buy what you want to keep and use. We want fast-drying, moisture-wicking, high-performance fabrics. While we love the feel of cotton, we don't pack it because it's heavy and it dries so slow.
The next rule is tech solutions. We know we're a little bit unusual in a lot of ways, but the fact that we carry with so many electronics. We both have a MacBook and we have a couple of cameras, phones, and lots of batteries that we charge each day. One of our favorite problem-solving solutions has been to consolidate our plugs and cords. We use 3 items to make this work: a power strip with 2 plugs, 2 charging bricks that expand our ability to charge 4 electronics, and a universal power adapter.
Since we travel together, we only bring 1 cord, each has a brick, and we only have 1 power adapter. The problem we faced in most hotels is a lack of electrical plugs. Being able to plug everything in each night at one station eliminates the risk of leaving something behind.
The other thing that we found is that many plugs are loose on the wall, and adding the adapter and then the charging block caused everything to fall off the wall. So with the power strip, we're able to plug in and our heavy charging brick could rest flat on a table and not on the wall. The power strip has several spaces for cords, and along with the spaces, our MacBook has additional slots and we're able to charge everything at once.
Our suggestion before you leave is to pull out all of your electronics, plug everything in, and make sure you bring enough cords for everything. Throw away the blocks that came with your phone or your watch and keep the cords only. It saves a lot of weight and eliminates the amount of items you're bringing.
The next rule is go old school, which is pretty easy for me. We know that fanny packs have been reimagined as hip packs these days, but it's an essential item that we just simply cannot live without. By being able to carry this on our front, we have a ready pocket for our phones, our batteries, room keys, cameras. The list just goes on and on.
Now, we've recently switched from the Patagonia to the Cotopaxi. This pack is a little bigger and it's just more functional for us. When we travel, John carries our passports in his pack and I manage our tickets. It's nice to split this job in 2 because it's hard to switch between a ticket in your digital wallet while you're trying to dig out your passports.
We know that many of you have this idea that you don't want to look dorky, but hey, get over it. This is one of our favorite travel products. We feel safer and more organized. It's something that we will not travel without.
The next rule we're calling Is there a doctor in the house? Now, another must-have item is Ziploc bags. We use these in various sizes, but the main way we use these is for medications. We understand that some countries have strict rules about prescription meds and even some over-the-counter meds, but we just dump everything into a Ziploc bag and go. We carry a list of medications from our doctor, but we know the shape and color of our meds, and we know what to take each day.
So far, we've never been asked about our meds, and we've carried them through every airport we've gone to. Recently, we watched a drug dog at work, and if you have a prescription for a drug that is considered illegal in some countries, don't dump it in a Ziploc bag. It's not worth risking jail time. For us, we carry medications that can be easily confirmed, and so far so good.
Now, while you're abroad, don't fear getting prescriptions filled. We can get most of our prescriptions over the counter at huge savings. John takes Eliquis, which is a blood thinner. India has been the cheapest we found, and we were able to buy a year's supply. So we saved over $6,000 a year when we buy abroad. This is a Pfizer drug, and it is sold abroad in many countries over the counter. Now, I buy medications for migraines as well.
In all of our travels, the only items that we can't seem to find that we depend on are cold medications. We can get, Hall's cough drops everywhere, but we can't find NyQuil or Mucinex. We're often expected to accept items abroad that don't quite do the same things as our over-the-counter drugs in America. Many countries won't sell you Benadryl for allergies. You must tell them that you can't sleep to get it. So consider this while you're packing.
The next rule we're calling it beauty is not skin deep. Now, one of the things we've seen abroad is the ability to get high-quality cosmetics in every country. Most every brand American women love is available in drugstores.
The lesson here is to pack a small amount and just know that you can replace it anywhere in the world. Don't pack shampoo and conditioner. It's available everywhere, and we just use what we find in the hotels. Carrying heavy items is not worth the wait.
Now, this year we switched to the Cotopaxi toiletry bag because it provided a bit more space. We think this brand is awesome, and the quality is very high.
Many of the items we've mentioned today are on our website. We have affiliate partnerships with many of these brands, so we invite you to check out our store. Of course, we appreciate you using our links as it helps us achieve our goal of bringing cool information to you.
Now be sure to sign up for our newsletter and check out our travel school series of videos on our website. We write about most places we travel to, and you can read the hundreds of articles we have on our site.
Have a great travel year and happy journeys. Be sure to hit subscribe and follow along on our retirement journey around the world.